Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our new edition of Big Brother 22 All-Stars Live Feed Spoilers. In this video, we're going to talk about the Power of Veto winner. We're going to take you through who won it, what that means for the game moving forward. Prepare to have your jaws on the ground. Prepare to have your eyes popping out of your head. You will not believe, you will probably believe who the winner of the veto is.
Yeah, you probably will.
Listen, there's still a lot of other good things to talk through here. Ramifications, strategy. We got so close to possible shenanigans. Why can we not have some shenanigans? That we've had to make up our own shenanigans that we have not had a pie in the face. Well, I don't know if that was a task or whatever else last season, but I know that's not a tradition. I just wish we had some comedy to talk through here, guys.
Yeah, we ended up having to make our own shenanigans. We did some painting, we played some Minecraft, we ordered Chipotle, so now we're like this. We're like happy alligators rolling around on the floor. We had to order in, it's just that kind of weekend. We can't be Rosanna Pansino every single day here sometimes. A girl just has to order in.
Listen, I've also got voodoo here, so
Yep, we also have the voodoo.
This is where we are this weekend. We have all been through it on Big Brother 22, so
Yep.
Get your snacks, get your treats. We're all gonna get into this craziness, and before we do, if you guys do like this video, subscribe, give us a like, support us further as well. We have our store, number of different products there, and also our Patreon, and thank you very much to everyone who has signed up for that so far this season.
We're also going to be covering Power tonight, so if anybody is watching Power Book 2 Ghost, we've been covering that for the season, and tonight is the mid-season finale, so we'll have a video up on that too.
Alright, so now we insert the drum roll sound effects here that are really not sound effects.
This is starting to look like my happy alligator
okay,
seconds ago.
Hey, listen, I wish we could be happy alligators here because the veto winner...
I'm full of Chipotle.
I would be happier if we had a different veto winner.
Let's have it. It is Cody.
Cody. Okay, Cody, why you always gotta try to make things so boring here? You didn't have to win this competition. It would have been fine. Why? I don't know all the specific order as of yet. Why couldn't you just have let Tyler win this, and then we would have ensured that Christmas probably went, then we would have had Memphis, oh, I'm up here on the block now, I'm real unhappy about, I don't know if that would be Memphis's reaction, I just want to pretend that it is.
I don't know, but things are really working out for Cody this season, like everything is turning up Cody, and he does seem to be at this point in the game where he is like, I want to control as much as he can. And we don't know exactly how the veto played out or didn't play out, how close it was or what was going on, but it's not bad for being sort of like just winning to the end at this point.
This is how good things have gone for Cody this season.
So good.
He won the first HOH. Beyond all that, Nicole was there on the season from the start.
Yep.
Nicole came into the house with people she knew she was friends with. Like, he still had to maintain the game that he sort of had after he got into the house. But I think this season set up well for him from the get-go. Him winning especially set up well for him. He was enabled to use that first HOH to sort of get a lot of deals. But here is the thing at this point. Cody... I'm not the biggest Cody fan. I've made this clear on a number of different occasions. It's just I don't find him the most exciting of TV. But his win right now to me, it's just undeniable. Like how I've tried to make my case for Enzo over this past little while, but Cody has just won so much, and if he continues to win, I know winning isn't all a big brother and it shouldn't be, but it's going to be hard for people to not give it to him at the very end of this.
Yeah, winning comps is more of the new school way of Big Brother. So he is doing exactly what people tend to vote towards. And he's just been so well insulated. He's been making everybody feel really good about themselves, except for Danny, who went out the door, but she may have had time to cool down.
Yeah.
She is more of a game player, so I feel like she's probably still going to give him the vote, unless maybe he's up against Nicole, then, maybe she'll have something to think about. But I think in general, I had thought that the only person this whole season that really had a shot at beating him was Enzo. And I don't think that that's the case anymore. And that's my winner pick.
It's gonna make me so sad if Enzo doesn't win this season. I mean, as mad as I was about him over the triple eviction and all of that, I still think he just brings a lot of good TV to the table. But Cody just keeps winning, and this was a competition that apparently had like a race component, but it sounds like it may have also had some sort of memory component to it as well. We already know that Cody can win the final HOH. We don't know that he can pick the right person after he wins the final HOH.
Yeah, but at this point, there really is nobody who's the wrong person. I really think that Cody has this in the bag, and we've had a couple people from that used to be in the house that were on the other side that were talking about getting rid of Cody. They never had a chance to do anything. And he's still pretty well insulated with Nicole, with Enzo. The only person that is kind of talking about getting rid of him now is Christmas, and she is on the block.
Yeah. That may not ultimately matter all that much if she's not in the game anymore. He's just put himself in such routinely a good spot. Winning the veto gives him this power, and if you guys have been watching this channel all season, which, thank you if you have, you know that one of my favorite narratives that I have tried to fan fiction into all of this is the battle of the bros, Cody versus Tyler, two very strong players.
You tried really hard with that.
I did. I was really trying hard today as this competition. I was like, all right. It's Cody versus Tyler. Like, who's going to pull this out? Who's going to... And I wanted Tyler to pull it off because I just feel like this season is better if this battle of the bros continues for a little while. And I just don't really care about having Christmas in the game anymore. That's neither here nor there.
Yeah, and it looks like Christmas is the target. That is who Cody wants to go. And this is where I kind of think he's making a mistake. And it's not him that's doing the voting, so it's not really his choice if Christmas ends up going or not. And as fun as it would be to, keep Tyler in the game and all of that, it's not really in his best interest. Now, I don't think that Tyler can beat Cody, but I think Tyler can win the next HOH and get Cody out.
Yeah.
Like, I know one of the things he's worried about, or Cody is saying he's worried about, is that Christmas is like a comp beast, but she's not compared to Tyler. Tyler is a comp beast, and we just watched him win HOH and Veto right in a row.
Yeah, like there was a really good chance that Tyler could have won this competition today, and I say this without even seeing it. I just know how good Tyler is at competitions, and it's kind of weird in a way, though, that it feels like this veto is like a microcosm of this season where you've got Tyler and Cody, two incredibly strong guys. And I kind of felt like from the start of this, I thought Tyler was a better player than Cody. But Cody has sort of outplayed Tyler a lot along the way here. He just outcompeted him in this competition. And if Cody was really thinking about it, Tyler will get rid of you, I think, in a much faster way than Christmas would.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And I know that Christmas has now said Cody is her target. I just don't know that would really be true if she was HOH. She has changed her target a lot, and a lot of those targets are still there. So, I mean, could it be true now? Maybe. Is it the right thing to do? Yes. I don't think anybody can beat Cody, but I thought that really the only chance they had where there was going to be enough people that would actually get Cody out was during the triple. I just don't think the numbers are there anymore to get him out. I think there's too many people that are actually willing to go to the end with him.
I was even thinking, and we talked about this in the triple, like in our reaction to that on Thursday, that is there a way in which to ensure that Cody could go? Like if Tyler put up him in Memphis, like I'm still not even sure Cody would have won in that scenario. And that's how crazy all of this sort of is at the moment. But the line of logic here, in case you were all sort of like pounding your head against the desk, which I would understand, and sort of being like, why would Cody want to keep Tyler? It seems like a lot of it is they want to make sure that if Memphis gets power next, there's somebody who is big and threatening and not in Memphis's endgame plans for him to go after. We know he wants to go far with Christmas. Tyler isn't in there, so keeping Tyler is a good way to utilize Memphis to get that number out of the game moving forward.
Absolutely. It's a really smart strategy to go forward with something like that. You have to think about what's coming up next. Keeping Tyler for that purpose makes sense. And with Memphis and how many wins he's had, the next HOH could easily go to Memphis, because we've seen Enzo has won like one HOH, Nicole's won Squadouche.
Yes.
So, I mean, seeing another Memphis HOH is not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, like, it's like, I get where they're coming from with this. Like, I genuinely do. I would still get rid of Tyler.
I would also get rid of Tyler.
I understand the logic behind it. And ultimately, you know, we've talked about this. There are 3 people who are going to be voting. Yep. Cody's not going to use the veto, so let's forget about that altogether here. You've got Enzo, Memphis, and then Nicole.
Yeah.
Memphis is, of course, going to be like, Tyler's a big threat. We got to get rid of, like, that. That's where Memphis lands in all this. This is not changing.
Yes.
We have Nicole, who I think is thinking along the same lines of Cody. And then you have Memphis, and then you have Enzo, who's just telling everybody whatever they want to hear.
Yeah. And so even there's been this really interesting sort of turn of events right now. Tyler is really worried.
Yeah.
Really worried. And he's already really trying to throw everything he possibly can at the wall, including telling Enzo about the committee, which is, you know, not necessarily going to get him any points at this point. Cody already told him about the committee weeks ago. So Enzo already knows. But because of the fact he already knows, it could help that he sees that Tyler is coming to him to tell him about the committee. Christmas is not coming to him to tell him about the committee. So this might be something that Enzo might look at. I mean, a lot of this, again, is going to sort of land for Enzo, I think, on what Cody wants to do. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are saying that Enzo is just riding Cody's coattails all the way to the end. And I don't 100% agree with that. I think that they have given back and forth to each other. I think it's just Cody has been in power more this last half of the game. So that has turned it into that Enzo has to work with what Cody wants to do. I think they're just final 2 and they're riding to the end. And if Enzo wants to keep that train going, especially right now with someone like Memphis and Tyler who win everything, Enzo's won one thing, so he needs Cody there.
Here's what I think you need to do if you're Enzo, is that if Tyler stays this time around, that's fine. You can get rid of Tyler potentially at Final 5 if you have to, if the option's there. Then you need to get rid of Nicole at Final 4. Get that gone there, because then you have that Final 3. Cody, Enzo, Memphis. Both of them probably take Enzo to the end. Enzo at least has a very good chance of winning against Memphis. I don't know about Cody, but guess what? You have another option there that's not Cody. At the worst, you get second place.
Yeah, that is the best way to go, because Cody and Enzo, or Cody and Memphis are not taking each other to the end. I don't really see it.
The only other thing, and this is, I haven't busted out the devil horns in a while, so this is a good time to do it. Memphis, Enzo, there we go. The Chipotle brain, everybody.
I know we're like this still.
Yeah, it's still the crocodile, alligator, whatever we are. We're animals who just ate. Okay, Enzo, get really diabolical here. You win that Final 4 veto.
Yep.
You cut Cody at 4. You go to Final 3 with Memphis and Nicole. Nicole's gonna be so grateful that you voted in order to keep her, and you made all of America mad at the same time in doing so.
Nicole is not taking Enzo to the end. There is no way she is that grateful. I think she thinks she can beat Memphis, and I don't think she can.
And so you're just going to win the Final 3 HOH. That's all that's going to happen in this theory.
Yes.
There's still, but there are a lot of different scenarios that are at play. I think Enzo, he is going to fall in line with whatever Cody wants to do. And I'm sure he appreciates Tyler telling him about the committee before the competition. But I think at the same time, it's just sort of like, that's it. I get it, Tyler. You're just trying to get a number. You're just trying to get my trust, yo. It's interesting, yo. You didn't tell me until you were on the block, yo.
Well, and here's the other thing is Christmas and Tyler, who have been like sort of ride or die till the end here, they are running the bus over each other. They are doing whatever it takes right now to stay in this game. So things are getting really a lot more interesting than it's been for a lot of this game.
This is another sort of opportunity to comment on how Cody has just been winning this battle of the bros against Tyler for most of it. It's like, Cody gets to have as close allies Enzo and Nicole.
Yep.
Tyler, you get Christmas, who I will submit to you that a lot of people in the committee strategically are all pretty good Big Brother players. I don't think Christmas is that great. I think Christmas is just benefiting from the fact that she always has a big alliance that's kind of willing to take her pretty far, because she's got a bad temper. She's not particularly, like, endearing to a lot of other players.
Yeah, and when the chips are really down here, she's handing Tyler the bus schedule, and I completely understand. There's no other outs at this point, so she does have to do what she has to do, but I don't know if she has to, like, back up over him and go over him again and back it up a second time.
This is the thing that really annoys me about Kristen. She plays this moral high ground all the time, and she's just, like, so petty at the same time. Like, she's doing stuff today. It's like, I'm so upfront. I'm straightforward. Tyler's not like me. It's well, congratulations, Christmas. You are superior to every human being on the planet in your head with some of the things that there's no right way to play Big Brother in those terms. I mean, as long as you're not being malicious or, like, being just a horrible person, yeah, lying is a part of the game. Tyler's good at it.
Yeah, lying is a part of the game. And, if you want to go into the game like Christmas is going in, where she's like, oh, I'm loyal, I'm upfront, straight shooter sort of thing, that's fine. But that doesn't win you Big Brother.
Okay, we've made it 16 minutes. I gotta talk about Christmas. Oh, I almost wish Christmas won the veto so that Christmas could, David had parked the clown car a long time ago. Christmas would have, like, gotten in there, like, wired it, started it up, and drove it, because she was talking to Enzo yesterday about how she wasn't going to use the veto if she wanted. I'm sure she probably would have used it.
She would have. I know we didn't talk about it yesterday, but I just didn't believe her.
Christmas. Marcellus would have been so grateful to you. You could have been the modern day Marcellus. People would have all forgotten about it. I would have died laughing. I would have not have been able to continue.
Oh, absolutely. But there's no way she wasn't going to use it. I just don't believe her.
No, and I just think right now we're going to see a lot of campaigning. I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to get a little bit ugly here and there. You've already talked about the bus schedules.
Yeah, it's been getting kind of, mildly ugly already. They're both blaming each other for the David vote to anyone that will listen to them. And yeah, they've both already been running each other over. So I think it's going to get a lot worse. It's only Saturday night, guys.
And this is the thing. It's like Christmas is already trying, I guess, to her campaigning here. And she's, like, going to Memphis and talking to Memphis about how, there was a good chance. Even before the veto, she was telling him there was a good chance he could be the replacement nominee and all this other stuff. And they talked about the possibility of Enzo playing both sides or having a final three with Nicole. It's like she's already sort of stroking that ego of Memphis. Yeah, Memphis is already keeping you, Christmas. Like, I don't think you need to reassure Memphis of anything at this point.
No, what one of them or both of them really need to do is come up with a very good reason for Cody to use that veto. And I know that it's unlikely, but unlikely is not 100%. There is always some sort of angle that they can work, and there is time to do that. So Tyler and Christmas, I know you're listening to me. Instead of just running each other over right now, come up with something to get yourself off the block. Tyler, actually, I'm just talking to you.
We're just pushing Christmas out of the room here.
I just feel like Tyler's the person who's, less of the loyal straight shooter and will lie. And that's what we need right now. If you're going to get off the block, you need to make up some lies. You need to try to kind of maneuver something here to get Cody to use that veto. Just don't pick like Enzo or Nicole. Pick Memphis. Try to figure it out.
It's amazing to me in some ways how lying can be sort of situational in its success, because it's like Tyler was so good at lying in Big Brother 20, and it's like today after he told Enzo about the committee, he was sort of like, a lot of other people, man, they were trying to get you out this past time, but I was like, no, and it's we know that's not the case.
No.
And Enzo knows that's not the case, and I'm sitting here being like, this isn't really a good lie, but I kind of wonder if Enzo hadn't sort of if Cody hadn't clued Enzo in all this beforehand, like, would this have actually worked? I don't know.
I think it's possible, but it's too late in the game. This is what the problem is. I think if Tyler had maybe had this talk with, if Cody had never told him about the committee and Tyler had this talk with Enzo before the triple, I think that Enzo would be on his side. But because he's been riding with Cody since the beginning, Cody already told him about the committee, Enzo's told him about his alliances, like they've told each other everything. It's just too little too late.
Let's just hope Tyler stays. The battle of the bros, I don't even need to hype it anymore. It's gonna happen if Tyler stays. It's on. It's gonna get exciting. That's it, yo.
I'm actually kind of wondering if Tyler is going to be able to be self-aware enough to use the fact that he was gonna quit to his advantage, to actually go to people and be like, listen, no one's gonna give me the money because I tried to quit. So you want to go to the end with me. Like, you're sitting against me. You never tried to quit. Like, I tried to leave.
How much would
I just feel like that's a good argument to kind of work around. Be like, Christmas is a problem for you guys. I tried to quit this game.
I want to see Nicole's reaction to, wait, somebody else is doing this too? Saying the I'm never going to win? I think her head might explode.
It might.
We'll talk more about this over the next couple days. I hope we have a good battle here between these two. We need it. If you were one of the voting people, who would you evict, Tyler or Christmas? What do you think about Cody ruining all of our excitement and winning the power of veto? Share in the comments, and if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe, support us further. Check those links to the store, our Patreon. We'll see you here next time.